Hello and welcome to this week's Productivity Enhancer. Today we're going to take a look at a very common action in Photoshop, and that's replacing a sky in a photograph that's either washed out or something doesn't quite look right. For this example, I have two photographs taken from the same spot, roughly. It was taken by hand. There's no tripod here, so it's not going to line up exactly right. However, we have this photograph right here, and then this photograph which was taken a little bit later, so the sun's a little bit lower. However, as you can see, the land portion of this photograph is a little bit brighter than this one. So although this is a pretty nice photograph in its own right, I want to take the sky from this photograph, which is a little bit lighter, and make it part of this photograph right here. Now, of course, there's a number of different ways to achieve this effect. However, the first thing we need to do is duplicate this layer into the other layer. So we'll duplicate it into the next layer, and here we have both photographs, and we're ready to start. So if I do toggle this one off, you can see it doesn't quite line up. It's a little different, but I think that this is going to be close enough for this particular task. So what we're going to do is grab our quick selection tool, and if you can't find the quick selection tool, you can right click on the fourth icon down, and it's right there with the magic wand tool. So we're going to select all of this area here. Just make one pass kind of close to the top, and then we can bring it all the way down. I think we can get this a little bit better with the horizon, even over here too. Okay, that's close enough. So now that we have this portion of this photograph selected, we can take down the opacity, take it down about 27, and you can see it's not quite lining up. So let's just move this whole thing over and see if we can't line it up a little better. That looks a little better. Now we can bring that opacity back up. And now you have a few different choices about how you want to proceed. The safest way to go is to create a layer mask. So we'll make sure that this layer is selected, and then we can go create a layer mask. However, that's exactly the opposite of what we want, so we're going to invert it, which is just Control-I on your keyboard after you select that layer mask, and there you go. So if I toggle this layer off, you can see the difference. It's an interesting picture, but I think the lighter sky with the more subdued hues makes a nicer contrast. So as you can see, this photograph certainly isn't done. We have to crop this border, but that's easily done just using the crop tool. And let's just drag it in maybe about there. And you can adjust the composition of your photo however you'd like. I think I'm going to bring this up just a tad. And I think that's nice right there. So as you can see, this action is actually pretty easy to do. It doesn't require a lot of steps. And as evidence of that, we can see we only have a handful of actions that we've actually done. Now, what made this project easier than others is that we do have a pretty good horizon line that we can base our selections on, and it gives you a really good way to anchor those photos together. It is possible to add a different sky to a photo that has less of a horizon or no horizon at all. It just becomes a little trickier, and then there's other tricks that you can employ to blend those together. So I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching, and until next time.